Yeah, I see you.
There you go. I don't know. It automatically clicked on the camera thing.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, has it been 2 weeks, 3 weeks? How long has it been now?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. It's just with school start. It's just back to school nights.
Yep.
Dance stuff. Kid stuff. One kid going into a computer science honor society thing. One time, I think is what it was, why I couldn't join. So it's just nonstop. It's the school year. It feels like I know it's a marathon, but man, it feels like a marathon. You sprint the entire marathon. That's what it feels like right now.
Yeah. No, it's been the same way. And then work's been super busy on top of it. So it's like I'm working, working till like 5 instead of 3:30.
Oh, man. No, man. Work for me has been super, super slow. So I'm the exact opposite of you. And I'm just like, okay. Yeah. Let's just keep going at it,
Yep.
I don't know. I'm thankful, and I thank God every day I got a job. It's just like, man, this is slow. This week has been. The previous 2 months have been okay.
Yeah.
Been pretty happy actually the previous 2 months, but this week in particular has just been super slow. But yeah, that's so then as far as school stuff, that's just normal school stuff, and I don't think I have any anything drama-wise to share with you. You got anything going on in your life?
No. Tomorrow night is week 2 of 4 straight weeks of high school football games we have to go to watch metal and at band.
Do you go to the away games too, or is it just home games?
Just home games. But they have one every Friday this month.
Every Friday? Gotcha. But so they play their entire month of not even a entire. I guess that's splitting September and October. I guess they split that. So.
They have one game late in October and then one the first week in November. So I'm like, we're going to get 4 nice weekends and then we're going to get like 2 freezing cold ones.
Yeah, probably. Because, what's funny is Katie decided to play soccer again just for this year, just to try it. Yeah. And, of course, she had to miss her first game because of dance conflicts. I was like, this is why we haven't signed you up for soccer since you were like 7. you just cannot make it. You have too many conflicts. But,
it's hard to do multiple things.
It is, and it sucks. I hate it so much because I know it just makes more sense to do the multiple things.
Yeah.
But keep looking for my notebook and I can't find it. Sorry, distracted there.
My kids aren't going to be top level athletes anyway, so it doesn't really matter if they play multiple sports to get good at them.
No, I get that, but I just want her to make. You need to make friends all over the place, kind of thing. Is kind of how I look at it.
Yeah,
it's better to just have your different have multiple social circles instead of just your one.
Yep.
Because then it feels like you're ostracized if you're not involved with. If I'm spending so much time with this one circle, then I'm not getting involved with that one. They just want to include me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So. And plus, with it being teenage girl stuff, oh my God, teenage girls.
Oh,
I don't know what's worse, teenage girls, I don't know. I think teenage girls have to be worse. I think so.
And just you wait, it gets worse.
I don't know, man. It will. I know, but I'll try to just ignore it for as much as I can.
Because you're gonna have a smaller window than I do of 2 teenage girls at the same time.
I know. That's a good thing. That's a plus. But the downfall is we keep joking. I don't know if I told you that joke last week about 10 more years, man. 10 more years. But it's okay. We'll get through it.
Yeah.
We'll get through it. So what beer are we drinking tonight?
I have Fuck 2022 while we're at it.
Ah, okay. So who brewed that one?
This is Abomination Brewing out of Connecticut. They did one that was called Fuck 2020.
Yeah.
And so
because of COVID, I get it. Yeah. They could just name that. I think, what year would you start that everything just got horrible with how life is now?
I think 2016 was really bad because that was the year like all the celebrities died. And people were complaining about what a bad year it was. Mm-hmm. And then it's like progressively gotten worse every year. It peaked at 2020.
And I just can't decide if it's just the bombardment of fear tactics being used in advertising. Like my favorite thing is when you're listening to something to try to get educated. Because I'm always trying to learn. I don't want to be uneducated about the issues of the world, right?
Yeah.
And then you're learning about, this BRICS thing, about a few countries wanting to get rid of the United States dollar as the world currency, the world reserve, right?
Yeah.
But right in the middle of talking about it, while they're trying to scare the crap out of you about it, that makes you rethink, what's my children's future going to look like? Are they going to have a job? Is our country going to go into the biggest? Are we going to be the next Venezuela? Are we not going to have food? Are we going to go to war? Or there's going to be famine? All of these things you think about, but in the middle of them trying to learn about that whole thing. Oh, and by the way, how's your mental health? Try BetterHelp.com. I'm like, yep. Dude, is this an ad or am I trying to learn? And I don't. It's hard because sometimes you don't really know. I just don't get it, and then I'm trying my best. But man, everything's like you said. It's just worse and worse, and it's so much fear mongering in the world right now. Lots of fear mongering. It feels like.
Well, and I feel like the media doesn't help it. They make it worse because they make more money off that. That's how you get addicted to it. They want you to keep watching. And if you keep watching, that's how they get advertisers to purchase. Because the reason why you're watching is because you're scared. You're like, well, I need to learn about this so I can protect myself and my family and my friends and the people I love. How do I protect them from the evils of the world? And it's just like, is the world really that evil, or is it really that evil and there's nothing you can do about it, and we're stressing and worrying about stuff that we should just go, it was a good run while it lasted. Yeah.
Stuff like that. And I'm just like, but then you talk about, hey, I just want to care about my kid going to play her instrument at a football game.
Yeah.
Why can't life be that simple still? I just
Yeah. I don't know. But then what makes it all worse then is social media, and now everyone has to have their voice on everything. Yeah. So, and if you don't agree with it, you're wrong and you're the bad person.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Maybe the best thing for me to do is just get rid of my phone and never log into YouTube ever again. And just get rid of all of it. Yeah. And I'd probably be a lot happier that way, to be honest. But
it depends.
I will say that my phone, I have I only have 16 gigs on this phone because it's old as crap.
Yeah.
I'm at 15.9 constantly, and I can't do anything on it because it says I don't have enough room on my phone. But yet, the operating system, it's iOS, it's because it's Apple.
Yeah.
The operating system itself is 7 gigs out of 16. I'm like, it's half the phone is just the operating system.
Yep.
Oh my God. So I can't wait until I'm trying to hold off. I'm trying to hold out until Christmas. I'm hoping to get like a Christmas deal of some kind where something that's going to be super on sale. And I'm going to go for like the 256 gig. I'm waiting for the terabyte phone. When does the 1 terabyte phone come out? That's what I'm really waiting for.
Yeah, but that'll be like $40 a month payment on it.
Right. No, I don't want that. I just know that 16 gigs, that's so the past. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Not even funny.
Because I think my phone, which I got a few months ago, is 256.
Yeah. That shows you where I'm at.
Yeah.
16, you got 256. Oh my God. Oh, but here we skipped. I'm sorry. Abomination. What kind of beer is it? Okay. Ale?
It's a triple IPA.
Triple IPA. Oh, it must have been a rough week. Oh boy.
Triple dry hopped. It says a triple dry hopped India Pale Ale. So I don't know. I mean it's 9.7%, but it's a good beer. I've had a lot of these triple IPAs that are just too bitter to even drink.
Yeah.
So
out of 5 pints, how many pints are we giving it?
I'd give it 4.
Oh, you like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Plus,
Abomination Brewery. I like that name of that brewery too. Abomination Brewery.
They do a lot of cool stuff. This has like a skeleton looking at a dumpster fire. I don't know if you can see.
Well, 'tis 2023.
Yeah.
Or whatever, 22. You name any year in 20, starting with the 20, going all the way through.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the 20s are just going to be awful all the way through. And then maybe by 2030, maybe things will look better. Who knows what 2030 will hold? I hope it looks a lot better than what we got.
Oh, yeah.
So, what do we have on the agenda this evening?
I don't have a lot of stuff, but let's start with this. Did you see the Aquaman trailer came out today?
I saw that it came out. I did not get a chance to watch it. I'm not really enthused about it.
Yeah. I heard it was out, and I didn't actually search it out until it came across my Facebook feed, and I'm like, well, it's right here. I might as well watch it.
Yeah. So what'd you think of it?
It looks like a movie.
Right. It does. I mean, after what was The Flash,
yeah,
I just don't have any excitement for Aquaman 2. I don't think I care. And then is Mira in the movie at all, or did they cut her out completely?
She was in one little clip in the trailer. I don't think
she was.
I don't think they cut her out, but I don't think they're gonna focus on her at all.
They're not gonna be that. I wonder how much screen time she's gonna have then.
I don't know. They've done so many reshoots on it; it's hard to say.
Yeah. Well, she's insane. So I don't know. But hey, I did want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You sent me a text about, like, it had Jonathan Majors on there.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller, Amber Heard, and I don't know.
That's
Namor's real name. What's Namor's real name?
I can't even pronounce it.
But that's Namor, right?
Yes, that's Namor.
Okay, what did he do to get in trouble?
Spousal abuse, I believe.
Is that what he's... Okay, I didn't even know. I didn't even see that in the news or anything like that, so...
Yeah, it didn't make much of an impact. But basically the meme was how you know your movie's going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
if your lead character is a time traveler or lives underwater.
Well, no, Momoa's not in trouble. He seems to be keeping his nose pretty clean.
Yeah.
So good on him. But yeah, no, I am still surprised Disney hasn't taken Majors out. I could have swore they would have recast by now, but I guess they're just hoping enough time passes where people kind of just let it go out of the news a little bit and then see what happens.
It seemed like it was a big deal when it broke. Mm-hmm. And then reports started coming out saying, well, it's not as bad as they're making it out to be. The woman involved said it was all a misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really haven't heard anything else about it. So I think Marvel's just going to stand pat with him unless something else comes of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty shocked. I figured that would have been, because Disney's struggling right now. Yeah. Because they're getting some of the bad press about the Snow White crap is everywhere online right now with the main actress, whatever her name is, Rachel something. She was bad mouthing Snow White. Like, she's playing Snow White, but yet she's bad mouthing the classic original.
Yeah.
So it's receiving a lot of backlash from. Now, mind you, that could be a very vocal minority causing all that and uploading tons of videos about it and whatnot.
It probably is.
After the performance that Little Mermaid had at the box office, this is just dud after dud for Disney right now. And so there was a rumor I read online this week that they might go straight to video, or straight to not video, Jesus, straight to Disney Plus with that one. As far as the live action remake. Yeah, that's the rumor now. Just because they're too far in, I don't think they could redo anything about it. And so I just think
they're giving little people work.
No, that's part of the backlash.
Oh, is it?
The dwarves they're not dwarves in the movie. I think there's one. I think one of the 7 dwarves is a dwarf, and the rest are diversity. Just regular people. I'm sorry, I should have said it like that. I'm not trying to, but yeah. Normal. I can't say normal. What word do I use? Fully grown. Yeah. I'll use fully grown.
Average sized adults.
How do you do this, man? Living now is so hard. Words, you have to trample, and it's not like I mean any harm. And I guarantee you most people don't ever mean any harm from any of it.
Yeah.
Yet you have to worry about it. It just sucks. It really does. It's awful. But that's catching a lot of flack, and I'm just like, I don't care. I didn't watch Little Mermaid because I just didn't care, because I like the classic, and I don't need to watch I didn't enjoy most of the remakes at this point. The only one I kind of liked was Jungle Book.
Yes.
Lion King was okay. And after Lion King didn't blow me away, I'm like, I'm done. I don't need to see any of the rest. I haven't watched Aladdin. Didn't watch. I know there's another one that was snuck in there too.
There was Beauty and the Beast, which was okay.
I think I either fell asleep or I watched some of it. I know I didn't watch the whole thing. My youngest watched the whole thing, and I would walk in every now and then and watch it. I'm just like, this, it's not the original. It sucks compared to the original. So
I think what happened was the novelty really wore off on those quick. So like Jungle Book was really cool because it was so unique at the time.
Sure. Yep.
And then each one since then, it's just been like, well, it's the exact same movie. Yeah. They added I think they added a song to Little Mermaid.
Well, and yes and no, because Mulan, they took out everything that made Mulan great. As far as they took the music out, they took out Mushu wasn't in it.
Yeah.
The main guy character wasn't in it, if I remember correctly. What's his name?
I
think was his name. I think. I don't remember. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's just I just have no interest. They aren't doing anything for me. So Disney, and then I don't think Elemental did that well in the box office either.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So, but even their Pixar stuff's not doing so hot.
But I mean, isn't that pretty common across Hollywood right now that nothing is doing very good except for a few outliers here and there? Kid movies usually do pretty well.
No, I mean Super Mario did great in the theater. Yeah. I know that performed very well.
And then Barbie and Oppenheimer did well.
Yeah, Barbie blew it out of the water. Oppenheimer was great, but I mean that's a Nolan movie. That's always going to draw some box office.
Yeah, but then
I mean, as a whole, I don't know if I can agree with you saying that all movies are struggling.
Well,
I don't know.
But I mean, if you think of like Mission Impossible and Indiana Jones, those didn't do anything, and those were expected to be huge this summer.
Well, Mission Impossible already came out.
Yeah.
Wow, that came and went real quick.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything then.
No, it didn't.
That's crazy because man, that's a great series. But then again, I don't go to the movies. I never get there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull something up here. Ranked by that's box office prediction. I'm just trying to pull up if I can find anything real quick about how everything performed.
Yeah, because I mean, Blue Beetle didn't do much.
I didn't even realize Blue Beetle came and went.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yep. I had no clue.
Transformers didn't do well, as far as I know. So I mean,
with Beast Wars, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, talk about some bombs. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Because when you start thinking about that, historically, those movies have all done really well.
Let's see,
or at least well enough that they keep making.
I don't think we include Meg 2, but Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse kicked ass, right? We'll say that did really well
again, but you could say that's targeted to kids.
Yeah, that's true. I'm talking about it as a whole, regardless of the type of movie it is. But yeah, I don't think Elemental. I have no clue how well it did. I have no clue. Ninja Turtles. I think Ninja Turtles must have done okay, right?
I think it did.
Okay. I didn't hear anything bad about it. Haunted Mansion. I don't understand why Haunted Mansion, because isn't there already a Haunted Mansion with
Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
And they just decided, and that doesn't seem like it was that old, that they needed to do a remake of it.
The last 20 years,
or is it
probably
something different?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. My kids went and saw it. My kids went. Kaylee liked it. I mean, she said it wasn't very scary. Will said it was scary, but he doesn't like scary movies. So,
well, then how did Blue Beetle do?
I've not really heard anything box office wise.
I mean, I didn't hear is it good? I didn't hear is it bad? I didn't hear anything about Transformers either. I have no clue if it did well or if it was a bad movie or not.
I heard it was okay.
Okay, that's good.
Here, I'm gonna pull up Box Office Mojo and see if it's got. Here you go. Yeah, 2023 worldwide box office.
Okay.
So, Barbie and Super Mario Brothers each made over $1 billion worldwide.
Okay.
And then you have
Mario did really well.
Yeah, 1.36 billion.
Wow.
Domestically, it made $574 million.
And it was okay. Mario was okay. I thought it was going to be better than what it was. I'm not saying that it was bad.
Yeah.
Again, it wasn't like the best thing I've ever seen.
All right, so after that, Oppenheimer at almost 900 million.
So it did not hit $1 billion.
No. Guardians 3 at 845 million. Fast X, it's just a little over 700 million. Spider-Verse was 689 million.
That's all Spider-Verse? I thought that would have just completely murdered the box office. Wow. Okay.
Little Mermaid was at 569 million, which was ahead of Mission Impossible. It was at 563 million.
Was Mission Impossible PG-13?
I don't know. Let's see. Elemental is next at 484, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania 476. That's your top 10.
Wow. Quantumania did not do well for a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you did a rewatch of that, right?
I have not yet.
Oh.
I mean, I'd like to.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not the best. It's not the worst.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of movies. Definitely not my favorite Ant-Man movie. Definitely not my favorite.
Here you go. Beast Wars was at 11. Rise of the Beast. 438 million. Indiana Jones was 382 million.
Did you guys go see Indiana Jones?
No, we didn't.
Okay. Just gonna wait for Disney.
Yeah, I think so at this point. The Flash, 268 million.
I can't believe it made that much. To be honest,
this is surprising.
I'm just the more I sit with that movie, the more disappointed I am by it.
Yeah, I mean, all right, Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem, 162 million.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. Blue Beetle, 114 million. It's 25th for the year.
DC with bomb after bomb, but I guess we got to wait for Gunverse to launch. Maybe Gunverse will fix it.
That's supposed to be part of the Gunverse. He said this was the first movie of it.
I wonder if there's a tie-in. I wonder if they're following the Marvel formula where they'll show a tie-in of some kind.
Maybe, or else he's just going to scrap
Gunverse when that was already going to happen before he was even announced.
Well, I think he liked it and wanted to keep the kid in the role.
Oh, so
yeah, he's kind of picking and choosing what he wants. Because I've heard rumors that he wants Jason Momoa as Lobo, so they're going to say Aquaman's no longer part of his universe.
They're going to kill him? Aquaman 2?
I don't know. I like Aqua Bro. Here you go. Air was 31st at $90 million.
Yeah, but that's a more of a prime movie than the actual release. That movie was so good, though.
It was.
I wonder if that gets a nomination for Best Picture.
Yeah. It could. Cocaine Bear.
Soon. I guess it's early Oscar favorites or something like that. Early 2024 Oscar favorites. If anything pops up here. Killers of the Flower Moon. That's coming out here. I think that comes out very soon, actually. That's the Scorsese one on Apple TV.
Yeah.
I think it's an Apple TV movie. I think. Maybe it's just too soon. I'm trying to see if there's anything.
Well, here, I'll throw a couple more out. Cocaine Bear made $87 million.
But that's probably a killing for that movie.
Yeah.
That could not have been very expensive to make.
Titanic, 25-year anniversary, made $70 million.
What? Who went back in the theater to watch that? Seriously? Come on. That's ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean, Dungeons and Dragons made $208 million.
You said you enjoyed that one.
I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Evil Dead Rise made 146.
I could watch that, but I just need to not watch it like it's an actual board game movie. Just enjoy. If it's as if though it sounds like even if it wasn't associated with Dungeons and Dragons at all, it'd still be like an enjoyable fantasy action movie.
Yes, it would.
Okay.
I mean, Chris Pine is awesome in it. But man, it's just amazing. Just some of these numbers.
I can't imagine Barbie is an Oscar-worthy movie. I thought that was supposed to be a joke of a movie. It's a comedy. Is it not a comedy?
No, it's still a comedy, but I mean, it's about female empowerment and I guess the message behind it is what really is getting to people.
Oh, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever watch it. It's just one of those things where I just have zero interest, you know?
I'm curious. I will watch it. We'll probably wait until that and Oppenheimer are out, and we'll do the Barbieheimer experience at home.
Was Will Ferrell in Barbie?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Small role, I think. There's been a lot of people though that had small roles in it.
Have you heard of a movie called Maestro with Bradley Cooper?
No.
That's his next one that they're. I don't know about Leonard Bernstein.
Oh, okay. Sounds like something I'll wait for streaming.
And then The Color Purple. It's a musical adaptation is what they're doing. I don't know. I'm sorry. That movie. What? No, that's like such a serious movie.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Oh my God. Let's see, Oppenheimer. Yeah, I gotta wait for that to come out. That's gonna have to be. Well, no, hold on. I thought did Christopher Nolan break away from WB or not? Yeah, from Warner Brothers, and is Oppenheimer? I thought him and Warner Brothers had a falling out.
I know he wasn't happy that they were going to put out Tenet straight to HBO Max because he didn't want that.
Okay. Because I'm wondering how we're going to be able to see Oppenheimer. It says Universal Pictures.
Well, I guess
Peacock
so.
Them?
Maybe that sucks. I don't have that.
Let's see.
I'll pay the $4
to Past Lives. Something they're saying comparison to Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of thing. So I guess time traveling movie. I guess there's a movie called Priscilla coming out. I'm going to assume it's about Priscilla Presley. Don't know anything about that one.
I'll only watch if Nick Cage plays himself.
Nice. May, December. Actresses honoring actresses by playing actresses in prestige cinema. Wait, what? I'm already confused. I don't know what this movie's about.
Sounds like Inception.
The Zone of Interest. Oh, it's an A24 movie, so there you go.
Yeah.
It's going to be messed up. Asteroid City. Heard of it? It's a Wes Anderson movie.
And that was on the list of top 50, but it didn't do 47, made $51 million.
Okay, so 2024 Oscar contenders. The Book of Clarence, Cast, Dune Part 2, Elemental, The Holdovers, Naiad, The Piano Lesson, Rustin, Saltburn. Don't know a damn thing about any of those movies.
I just know Dune Plus 2,
Dune
Part 2, yeah.
Dune 2, yeah, it's just the closure of that two-parter. Interesting. Okay. Well,
although reports are Denis Villeneuve wants to make the second book into a movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Dune Messiah.
So he's just super neck deep into the whole Dune lore right now.
I guess so. Those books are so dry. Like, I like the original Dune after I read it the second time.
Mm-hmm.
That second book, I was just like, no, I'm done.
Did you tap out or did you finish it?
I finished it.
Oh, okay.
But I was just like, yeah, I'm not going any further.
Yeah. Okay. No. So, do you have anything else on the agenda for the evening? We kind of just tangented over there.
News came out today from Donald Glover. He was working on the
Lando
series, but now he's announced it's going to be a movie.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
straight to Disney Plus kind of thing, or are we going to go hit theaters?
I'm sure they're going to go theaters to try to capitalize on his name.
Okay, because it's been a hot minute for a Star Wars movie in the theaters now. At this point, correct?
Yeah. What, The Rise of Skywalker? Yeah, that was the last one.
Okay, so I think it's been a hot minute for that, and I'm kind of liking that. I think they kind of said, let's hit the pause button. Let's kind of reset what we want to do, because it's kind of, I don't want to jump into homework too early, but can we talk? Can you talk about Ahsoka? Have you watched it?
We've watched the first 3 episodes. We're going to knock out the other 2 earlier, but just working late and stuff just hasn't made it possible to watch them yet. We're going to knock them out this weekend.
That's just a big piece of my homework, but I'm ready. Let's jump into that. We had a good tangent into Star Wars.
Okay.
So Ahsoka. My biggest critique of it, and I'm starting off with the critique, is that if you didn't watch Clone Wars and if you didn't watch Rebels, you will have no idea what's going on.
Yep.
And if you were trying to capture fans to learn about this character, you can't. Yeah. It's impossible. You have no clue. And I told Jen, because she likes The Mandalorian. She'll watch Mandalorian with me. Yeah. And I started watching Ahsoka, and I was like, you could watch it. You might kind of enjoy it, but since you didn't watch any of the Clone Wars, you didn't watch any Rebels, I think she watched a little bit of Rebels with me, like just being in the same room at the same time, but didn't actually participate in watching it. Because Ahsoka, now that's my biggest critique, is that if you didn't watch those 2, you'll have no idea what's going on, and you'll be completely lost. Yeah. And I guess they were okay with that, because the nicest thing I can say about it is this is Dave Filoni's love letter to this character that he seems to really, really love. And he's taking care of his baby is what he's doing. Yeah. The fact that I'm guessing he wrote every single episode, because it's listing him as the writer on every single one.
Yeah, I think so.
as far as your live action follow up to Rebels, so good. So good. I couldn't stop watching. Like I started, I was like, I didn't realize, I was like, I felt like I was way behind.
Yeah.
I watched 4 episodes in one night and then I watched the 5th one last night.
Yeah.
Episode 5 is everything. Like, I don't know what you've been hearing about episode 5, but everything you've been hearing about it, it lives up to the hype.
Okay.
It does. It's super good. The girl they have playing Hera is awesome.
Yeah. That was Huntress from the Harley Quinn movie.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't know who is playing Sabine. Who I would have casted to play Sabine is she was in Iron Fist.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. She played Colleen Wing.
Yes. That's who I would have.
Jessica Henwick.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Something like that.
But regardless, who they did, she's fine. I don't have any problems with who Sabine is.
Yeah.
I don't know how many episodes we're supposed to. Is this 8 or 10 or how many are we doing for Ahsoka?
I think it's 8.
8. So we've still got 3 more episodes. I'm curious where they're going to go with it. I don't want to give away too much because you're not as far. For the one rare moment in Star Wars time, I'm ahead of you. So
yeah,
really weird. This is super weird. My biggest, Jason is in there.
Yeah,
and that's one of my biggest compliments I can give this show is that the kid actor is actually not annoying.
Yeah,
he's actually doing okay. He's not doing too much, not doing too little.
Yeah,
enough. And if you push this kid actor too much, he could be annoying. He could get to cross that line of annoying. But I don't have that. I'm like, it's one of those rare times where I'm like, I don't hate this kid. All right.
Yeah.
So that's a big pro. My biggest part that makes me smile the most is Chopper.
Oh yeah.
Obviously. Chopper's the best. And then they have, I don't remember seeing him in anything, and I'm going to butcher his name, Hugh Sing, if I'm saying it correctly. Mm-hmm. He's the Jedi robot training robot.
He was in the Clone War cartoon.
He was in the Clone War? Okay. Yeah. I just don't remember him, I guess.
So,
I think he's being voiced by David Tennant.
Yes.
And I'm like, him and Chopper are probably my 2 favorite from the series.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I want to point out is that I don't really find this to be an Ahsoka series. This isn't I don't know why they said it should have just been called Rebels Series 2 or something. It's really a Rebels show. It's Rebels. It's what it really is. Because Sabine is as big and as important of a character as Ahsoka is in it.
Yeah.
Hera is growing. Her character's growing a little bit. God, but episode 5 was so good. It's going to be one of those things like when you look back on things and the growth of the Star Wars lore, episode 5 really expands on it a lot.
I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I'm worried about is what's going to happen with Ray Stevenson's character. Because he passed away.
Yeah, he did. And I don't know. I don't know what the plans were. Do you recast and you just go, we had to? Or does that character just fall by the wayside? Is that because his name's Balin something? And I don't know how important Balin is in Star Wars mythology. It's not a name I'm very familiar with.
Yeah, I don't think he's been in anything else. When I looked him up initially after the first 2 episodes, I hadn't found anything about him.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And he is a Sith Lord. That's not spoiling. You saw that much of him. And whoever his apprentice is, she's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know
who
she is, where I've seen her, but man, when they got a specific look for her, and her hair, the way her hair looks, and just her eyes are huge, but they fit her face well.
Yeah,
and she pulls off evil with her look.
Yes,
she pulls off the dark side very well. I'm very impressed by her. It doesn't say much. I mean, she's no Darth Maul, obviously.
Well, of course.
All hail Maul. We all love Maul.
Yeah.
But I'm really impressed with her. I really am. I'm really, really digging her character. So usually my biggest complaints about Star Wars shows is that they start off slow.
Yeah.
This one didn't.
No, it didn't.
It wasn't slow at all. But I think it might have just been because how much I'm like, all right, Rebels, more Rebels. All right, we're get to see the continuance of what happened. And Rebels just ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger, in my opinion. It's not like it ended and the story was over. And them doing what they're doing was, I'm like, this makes sense. Everything's going the way you think it is, and they're letting it breathe, letting characters develop. They're letting them. You've seen some growth from them from when Rebels left off. But calling this an Ahsoka show is a disservice to Ahsoka for people that don't even know who she is, because she's not a main character in the Skywalker saga.
Yeah,
really.
So, one of the things I really liked about the first couple episodes was it kind of took place before the ending of Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
So when Rebels ended and they do the little postscript like after Return of the Jedi, I liked how they did kind of filled in that gap a little bit and then showed Ahsoka showing up to get Sabine and saying, let's go find Ezra.
Yeah.
And that was really cool, especially seeing the mural in the background too.
Correct. Yeah. So, and I think I saw something online that showed a comparison of the cartoon to the live action.
Yeah.
And it was dead on. It looked really cool.
Yeah.
So,
but
I guess I hope I didn't come off saying I wanted to start off with the one con.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm very positive about this show and I'm liking it a lot. Well, I really do like it.
That one con has been a big complaint of mine since Disney's taken over, because they're not just with the cartoons, but with the books and the comics too. Mm-hmm. There's little things that enhance your appreciation of what's going on in the movies and shows, especially with the sequel trilogies, because there was a lot of stuff that they put in the books that kind of set up what was going on in the movies. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people didn't understand what was going on, like why Luke Skywalker was in exile. They showed in the books that the legend of him was bigger than the guy and he couldn't handle it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, that makes a lot of sense. But if you don't know that going into the movies, especially someone our age, it really destroys the character for everybody.
Yeah. I think also what hurts from a mainstream audience standpoint with these shows is that I think everyone still agrees this is still the Skywalker saga. Everything's Skywalker, right? We're not doing anything pre-Skywalker, which would be Knights of the Old Republic, I guess. That would be pre-Skywalker, right?
That would be, and it's something they want to get into.
We're going to have to get there at some point, I think. But
the High Republic stuff hasn't dealt with any Skywalker stuff, and from what I've seen so far, Yoda is just mentioned. He's not even that big of a character in it.
Okay, because I think the biggest thing that they struggle with is timeline. Yes. Nobody can keep track of what's going on and when does everything occur. And I understand, and you probably handle a little bit easier in regards to understanding what the acronyms stand for. The timeline of the Skywalker saga they use, was it ABY or BBY, before Battle of Yavin? Yes. And then everything's ABY is after Battle of Yavin. Yes. And I guess that's your time. Your time can start there. But the problem is when you ask a layperson about, do you know what the Battle of Yavin is? They're going to go, what are you talking about? Yeah. So I think using that as their timeline reference is your first big mistake. And I don't know how to simplify it. And I always tell you, we need our big whiteboard. Because I had to, even for this, I had to keep reminding myself, when did Rebels take place? Because when I think of Rebels, I think of Rogue One. I think pre A New Hope. Yep. That's Rebels does not land there, I don't think. Where does Rebels? It does. It's how many years before Battle of Yavin?
It spans, I think, 4 years before it.
So, and where does it sit with Rogue One? Is it before Rogue One or is it after Rogue One?
Before Rogue One.
Okay, so it's all before Rogue One.
Yes.
Okay, see, this is what they need. I don't know how to pull this off, and I don't know if I were a producer on the show how I would do that. But to draw people in to try to help them with that, because I think that's important. People like timelines. At least I do. I don't know if that's important to you, but I think if I'm a person coming into this blind, think of it like from the Marvel universe side of things. There's a natural progression of the timeline of what's going on. Like when you say, "Hey, it's Iron Man 2," well, you can kind of go, "I kind of remember where Iron Man 2 sits. I don't need a big timeline to think about that."
But with there's only been a few times they jumped out of order, like Captain America: The First Avenger, Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So as far as a timeline, I think that's super important to establish where we are in the Skywalker saga and why are we filling this in. Try to explain why this is important. And if you didn't watch Clone Wars, if you didn't watch Rebels, and now you're watching this, why is this important at all? None of this makes sense. Because then when people that have never seen a Star Wars thing at all that involves Thrawn, and that's not a spoiler at all. Yeah. By the way, I think you've probably seen pictures because I think it's the guy that voiced him in the cartoon is going to play him in the show. So that's not a spoiler. They're going to go, who's Thrawn?
Yep.
But Thrawn. Is Thrawn pre-Emperor?
Yes.
I thought he was the heir to the Empire, and he was supposed to happen after what happened with Sidious, right?
Well, it depends on which timeline you look at.
That's what I'm talking about. These timelines are garbage.
So
okay, so go for it. You do deep dive. Go.
So Legends in the Zahn trilogy that he originally did with Thrawn. Was set 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Correct. So that's why I go heir to the Empire. Thrawn was your next big bad.
Yes, but he was in the Empire.
So now that Rebels is coming out, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I really am, but I think it's important to do so. Are they setting up Thrawn to be pre-Emperor, saying that this was supposed to be the big bad, and they're going to show everything prior to, Sidious coming out as the Emperor?
No, I don't think they're going to do that. It doesn't go that far back. So basically, the Legend stuff came after, but he was part of the Empire during the Rebellion stuff.
Okay.
He was just kind of put off to the side because he was an alien, and everyone in the Empire is xenophobic.
Okay.
So when Disney took over and they reintroduced Thrawn, they set up his story. So the books happened shortly before and during Rebels, the original trilogy that Timothy Zahn did.
Okay.
So the second and third book actually take place during Rebels. So like when he disappears in Rebels, it's because of one of the books.
Okay. Is it better for me to, or does it impact my enjoyment of the rest of Ahsoka? Do I need to read those books first?
No.
Okay.
No. And then Zahn did a second trilogy of Thrawn books, which take place during the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And there's actually one of his original trilogy of the new canon flip-flops between the current time of Rebels and the Clone Wars, where Thrawn teamed up with Anakin.
Okay.
So
where Thrawn teamed up with Anakin after Anakin had already, but Anakin hadn't gone over dark side yet.
No. This is during Clone Wars. He was working with Anakin because I don't remember the exact details.
But Thrawn's an emperor, but he's not part of the New Republic.
Well,
if he was working with Anakin at that time, that would make Thrawn a good guy. But he's not.
Well, he's a good guy in the eyes of his people. And he was doing stuff because he was still part of the Chiss Empire, or Chiss Ascendancy is what they called it. But he wasn't, because they were in the unknown regions, and they came into the Outer Rim.
You agree with me, Thrawn is the villain of Rebels, correct?
For the second half of it, yeah.
What is he then? How is he the good guy as part of the first half of Rebels?
He wasn't in the first half of Rebels.
That's what I'm saying. But he wasn't in it. But he still existed. He was a general somewhere, or Grand Admiral. It's not like he just got. It wasn't like he had a sudden ascension.
No, he really did.
Okay.
They actually found him stranded in a different system, and they took him to the Emperor. The Emperor took a liking to him, and they pushed him through the Imperial Academy.
Huh. Okay. It's just it's super confusing.
It is
when you have Thrawn is your big bad.
Yes.
Like you have your Thanos, or you got your Steppenwolf, if you want to go with Justice League. Thrawn is our big bad.
Yeah.
And his timeline just doesn't fit where they've got him right now. Because you're going to have Thrawn And no one's going to know who he is. Again, for the layperson that has no clue about the Star Wars as far as Rebels or the books, Heir to the Empire books or any of that stuff, he's out of place.
Yep.
He's super out of place right here. And I'm curious how they'll try to rectify that.
That makes me wonder about the movie that Filoni's going to do, because that's going to be Heir to the Empire. And it's going to be, I think, an updated version of that book that fits into the canon.
How are they going to do that? But where in the timeline?
Shortly after wherever Ahsoka ends.
But Ahsoka is before Rogue One.
No.
So that's pre-Luke.
The Ahsoka show takes place after Return of the Jedi. 5 years after, like when Mandalorian's taking place.
Wait, Ahsoka's taking place after Return of the Jedi?
Yes. Because it's a continuation of her appearance in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Where she's trying to find Thrawn. So this takes place after that.
I get that. This is all, oh my God, this timeline is whack, right. Dude. This is so messed up.
There is a fandom site called Wikipedia, and it's actually got a timeline built out. And you can select what goes into the timeline. So you can put the movies, the TV shows, and the books, and it'll show you exactly where everything is. All go together.
The movie, take out the episodes, was at 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Take those out.
Yep.
Oh my God, I'm so confused. Because I thought we just established... Okay, so Rebels the cartoon takes place pre-Rogue One.
Yes.
Part of it takes place pre-Rogue One.
Like the last 5 minutes of Rebels takes place 5 years after...
5 years
Return
after
of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Yes, because that Kanan's already gone.
You're going to tell me there was never any interaction between Ahsoka and the Skywalkers? Luke and Leia? No, nothing. She never even met Obi-Wan. But she did. She knows Obi-Wan.
She knows Obi-Wan, yeah.
God damn it! I'm so frustrated about this.
So there is a meme where...
You understand my frustration.
Yes. I do.
You seem like you're not frustrated with it. Why am I so frustrated by it and you're not?
Because I've been in it now for 30 years.
I've been in it at the same time. I just didn't read the books.
Well, no, I started reading the books like 30 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only difference. So that's what I'm saying. This is, oh my God.
So I know the way they did the movies, and now they're kind of filling in the timelines.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Because there's a meme of Yoda and Obi-Wan's ghost, and they say, well, there is another. And then it's like, well, there's also Ahsoka, and there's Cal Kestis from the games, and there's Kanan Jarrus.
I just read something about that last night when he said that. When Yoda said there's another, everyone thought he was talking about Leia.
Yeah.
But now the rumors are that he's not talking about Leia at all.
But the joke was they kept naming all these other Jedi that have started popping up in the canon because they're filling in the timelines.
Okay, so when he says there's another, that's Empire?
Yes.
Okay, so when does Cal take place in the video games?
I think around that same time. I don't know for sure. I've never looked.
Post-Jedi? I thought that might have been post-Jedi.
I think it was before because the droid has showed up in one of the shows, but I don't know.
You got Cal, and then the fact that in Ahsoka that they've only said the name Kanan Jarrus one time, that's kind of bothering me a little bit.
Yeah, especially since the sun is running around the ship.
Yeah, a little bit. So that's bothering me quite a little bit there. I'm waiting to see if oh, come on, Jay, help me out with their version of Chewie. What's his name? He was just in the last show.
Oh, Zeb.
Zeb, yes, thank you. Sorry, I was blanking out on Zeb. Is Zeb going to make an appearance at all? Are we not getting the whole band back together?
I would think we'd see him.
We got to get Zeb back in there.
Yeah.
The only person that would be missing would be Kanan, which it's... Who knows, right? Maybe I know it would make his spoilers. It would make his death very cheapened. But could they find a way to write him back in?
Yeah. All right.
I just don't know if that cheapens. I just don't know. I think that hurts Hera's character and Jason's character.
Yeah.
Now, does Jason in a book anywhere, or do we see him growing up somewhere along the line?
No, I've never heard anything about him other than that little clip in Rebels.
Okay, I'm just curious because I could see that having its own thread and going somewhere, you know.
Yep.
So, all right, yeah, I guess I just gotta get this timeline. I gotta get this timeline nailed down. It bothers me so much because now that you're telling me that Ahsoka is taking place 5 years after Jedi, it makes more sense now.
Yeah.
But the problem is Hera is I guess maybe she might not have been a general or not, because then wouldn't Hera have been involved with Luke and Leia and Han and all of them? Wouldn't she have been part of all that too?
You'd think so.
Because remember, first part of Rebels is pre-Rogue One.
Yes.
She's still alive the whole time. Hera should have been involved in the original trilogy somewhere.
The Ghost was in Rogue One.
The Ghost is in Rogue One.
Yes.
Okay.
I just, in our little chat on this, I just sent you the timeline link. So, now it's reloading on me. But yeah, you can look through that and it'll show you where everything fits. And you can click and just look at shows or whatever you want. But yeah, they never really say where Hera is during like the Battle of Endor. Battle of Yavin, she had just escaped from whatever the planet is in Rogue One. I can't think of what it is right now, because she was part of that battle. But yeah, there's a lot of inconsistencies in the story, and they're retconning things too.
You would hope that Filoni would just put an end to all that. Timeline sucks. Show's great. We'll talk about it more next time after you watch it. I'm really looking forward to talking about the next 2 episodes with you. We'll go a deeper dive about those. It's a great show. Super happy.
I will get caught up.
Yeah,
that's the plan this weekend.
Okay. So, homework. Do you have a lot of homework?
I don't have much, no.
Okay. You go with yours. I don't think I have too much either.
Okay. I texted you about this, but Champions.
Yeah, and I still haven't had a chance to watch it. One with Woody Harrelson?
Yes, it's one of the Farley brothers did it. Woody Harrelson actually brought it to him.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because they have a relationship from Kingpin.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
So I guess it was an Indian movie or something. It was from somewhere else, maybe South America. Woody Harrelson saw it, took it to the Farley brother and said, "You need to make this." It was awesome. It was so good.
Okay. Super funny or just...
super funny.
Okay. All right.
And just a feel-good movie.
All right. Cool.
10 years. It's about a high school reunion, a 10-year high school reunion. It's got all kinds of people in it. Channing Tatum is the main guy. It's got Rosario Dawson.
I think Jen watched this.
It was okay.
I think what's it on?
Prime, I think.
This sounds really familiar for some reason.
Him and Rosario Dawson were together in high school. He shows up with his new girlfriend who he's going to propose to, and she shows up married.
Okay.
And it's all about, hey, are they going to get back together? Chris Pratt's in it. He played an asshole in high school that is going around to the nerds and trying to apologize to them all, but he gets just sloshed.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, well, Pratt's in it. That's cool.
Yeah. Like I said, it's huge cast. Anthony Mackie, Justin Long. I can't think of who else, but people just keep showing up, and you're like, oh yeah, I know that person. Oscar Isaac's in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
This one was really good. It's called Our Friend. It's Casey Affleck and Dakota Johnson are married, and their best friend is Jason Segel. She gets diagnosed with cancer, and he kind of moves in to help them with their 2 kids and to get through everything.
Huh. I've heard of it.
It's another.
I might not watch it. But it's good. It's worth watching.
Yeah, it's worth watching. It's really depressing, but they did it really well. Where it's kind of told out of order, where you learn little bits about them, and then it goes back and shows you backstory to fill it in.
Okay, cool.
So super depressing though.
Hey, you know how I get. So yeah, right up my alley.
I rewatched the original Evil Dead with Kaylee.
Okay, how'd she like it?
She said it was okay.
Yeah, it's. I bet you it's dated at this point. It's really weird for her.
It's very dated. I mean, considering they made it on like no money.
Yeah. Back
in 82, 83, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna watch Evil Dead 2 and the Army of Darkness. But
and then what about Evil Dead Rising? Or is that what it's called? I think it's Evil something, right? Or the one that's on Max right now. It's like this one. I think it's part of that timeline or part of that whole series, right?
I think so. Well, I don't know. Sam Raimi had a hand in it. I think he was a producer on it. He didn't direct it or write it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it directly ties in with Ash and all that stuff, but
I
don't know if I'll watch them. She'd probably rather watch the newer Evil Dead movies than the originals.
Mm-hmm.
I rewatched Elizabethtown.
Elizabethtown.
That is Legolas. I can't think of his name.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but okay.
Cameron Crowe movie. Awesome soundtrack. I love the movie.
Is that the tennis one?
No, that's the one where his dad dies.
Okay.
After he was supposed to make a tennis shoe and it failed completely and he got fired. And then he found out his dad died when he was about to kill himself. So he goes back to his dad's small town in Kentucky and deals with all that and meets Kirsten Dunst.
Okay.
Really good movie.
Something Bloom. And his last name Bloom.
Orlando Bloom.
Lando Bloom.
Yes.
Knew we'd get there.
Yep. All right. We watched season 2 of I Am Groot today. Those are those little shorts.
Yeah. Did it come out?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it worth the time?
It might be one of the best things the MCU's put out in a while because they're just they're like 2 or 3 minutes. They're really quick to watch. They're a lot of fun though.
Well, I'll tangent off that. I did my rewatch of Guardians 3.
Yeah. I haven't yet. It's so good though. Yeah.
So good. And then just to tangent off that one time real quick, I did a listen of the Inside of You. Rosenbaum did Nathan Fillion.
Yes.
Nathan Fillion, it's all of his stuff. Everything I'm listening to right now seems like it's really old.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion is probably one of the best human beings ever. That guy is awesome. I love Nathan Fillion. I could listen to that guy talk on a podcast for hours.
Yeah. Mark Bernardin had a good story about him. He interviewed him once when he worked for Entertainment Weekly.
Mm-hmm.
And years later, he took his son to a movie premiere. I think it was a Guardians one, and Nathan Fillion was there. And Nathan Fillion walked up and remembered him and shook his hand and turned to his son and goes, "Your dad is one of the greatest guys I know." And Mark Bernardin's like, I teared up because I had met him once, and we talked for half an hour for an interview, and he remembered me and built me up like that to my son. That just meant the world to me.
Yep.
I'm like, I want to meet him.
He's a good guy. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then today I started Wrestlers on Netflix. It's a documentary, 7 episodes. They're about an hour apiece, I think, where they're going around with Al Snow, who's like the head guy of Ohio Valley Wrestling, which used to be like the farm wrestling league for WWE. So, I mean, that's where Bautista and Randy Orton and all those guys started out.
Okay.
So it's interesting seeing like the back, like what goes on behind the scenes at an indie. Makes me want to see like a Glory Pro behind the scenes show.
Sure. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then just like seeing Al Snow, and he talks a little bit about how he was kind of unappreciated in WWE until he found the mannequin head and started bringing it. And
yeah, that bit lasted a while too.
Well, yeah, and he said he just saw this mannequin head and read into some kind of psychiatric disorder where people would place their emotion in inanimate objects, and how he just built his whole character around that. And he was going to be a heel, and it just took off, and everyone loved it, and so he became a face real quick.
Yeah.
So that was the stuff I watched. I finished that book, All of the Marvels. Highly recommend it.
Okay.
You could skip the first 3 chapters because it kind of sets up like what he did, why he did it. But then each chapter after that is like, the first one's Fantastic Four, and he hits on the key issues. And now I'm like, well, I'm going to go on the Marvel app and I'm going to read like first appearance of Black Panther, and here's the Galactus stuff he talked about. But he gives you a good timeline of how everything progresses. And so like he points out in Spider-Man, it's really the same story that's been told 4 different times. And while there are differences in the story, it always ends at the same emotional point and resets.
Gotcha. Nice. Very cool. So all the Marvels. Okay. Yeah.
So it was like one chapter was about a specific character or set of characters, and then the next character was about like a subject. So like he went into the early Marvel comics that were all about monsters because that was what they did before superheroes.
Sure. Yeah.
And then he did like the Women of Marvel as one of the off chapters. but it was really cool. And he hit a lot of the vintage stuff. He had a chapter on Black Panther and how that character evolved, which was really interesting. And then the last chapter was Miss Marvel and Squirrel Girl.
Nice.
And now I'm like, I kind of want to read some Squirrel Girl comics after reading about this.
Squirrel Girl. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I knocked down a few trades. Little Monsters Volume 2. The Meyer Vampire.
That.
It's a conclusion to it. So good.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get it. That's one I'll definitely get around to.
Yeah. Batman and Robin, volumes 2 and 3. Finished the Morrison run on that. Really good.
Yes, I agree with you. Yep. Coming from the non-Morrison guy, I actually really like that one.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to read volume 4. It's Paul Cornwell that did it. I can't find it at the library either, and I don't know if I necessarily want to just go on and buy it.
I have to pull up I think that might be something I have digital then. Yeah. Because I know I don't have it on the shelf.
I was going to look and see if I even need to read it before I jump into the second volume, which is by Tomasi.
Oh, the Tomasi stuff's amazing.
I've got the first volume of that already, so I might just jump into that.
You definitely want to read the Tomasi stuff, yes.
I finished Sins of Sinister, the latest X-Men crossover.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting. They've really gotten far out there on what they're doing.
Okay.
Because this was another one where
I'm so far behind on X-Men books.
Yeah.
I'll need to retire before I can try to get caught up on that.
Yeah. This was one where it told like the current story and then it jumped 10 years and then 100 years again.
Yeah.
But overall it was a very appealing story, and they introduced Rasputin from Powers of 10.
Okay. Yeah.
One of the Chimera, the Nightcrawler looking one.
Yeah.
She's now on Krakoa. So I'm curious to see what they do with her.
My reading needs to go all the way back to when they separated the books into blue and gold.
Yeah.
That's how far behind I am.
Yeah.
Powers of X is so far away from all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, it is and it's not. I mean, it depends on, where I skip over and what I just want to try to get what's available too.
Yeah.
Because House of X and Powers of X is way down the line.
Yeah, it is.
But that's a good jumping on point though for people.
It really is. And I skipped a lot of the stuff that came before it just because I had fallen out of X-Men for a while, and those two miniseries got me really back into it. So, and the last thing I got for you.
What about the Ben Piercy run of Wolverine? Did you read any of that?
Yes.
How's that?
I enjoyed it. It was kind of separate from all the Krakoa stuff, and it felt like the 90s where Wolverine was in everything, and it's like, how does this all fit in together? Because he was part of the X-Men and part of X-Force, and then in his own book. So,
well, God, I know where this stuff fits in.
Yeah,
because Reign of X comes. Does Reign of X come after Powers, House and Powers?
Yes.
Okay, I just gotta remember how all this falls in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
anyway, okay, sorry.
And then the last thing, Batman: Last Night on Earth.
We'll do that next time.
Okay.
We'll have to do it next time.
I will say this: when I rechecked into Goodreads, that I read it again, I saw my original review of it.
Mm-hmm.
I was lukewarm on it. It didn't make sense. It definitely went up the second time I read it because I had read all the Snyder stuff and knew what was going on.
There you see, and that's why.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I knew your tune would change. So
yeah.
Let me get through my stuff real quick because I got a hard out here pretty soon. But let's see. As far as watching, Ahsoka was a big thing. Jen and I actually watched something together, which is very rare these days. We finally sat down and watched something. Mayor of Easttown.
Okay.
Highly recommend. That was fun. Because it's a murder mystery kind of thing. And you're just. It was one of those where she is not a stay up late person anymore.
Yeah.
But this was one where we were like, one more. And then we finish it. Okay, if we get through this really quick, we'll be in bed by 1 o'clock in the morning. Stuff like that. So, definitely. It's a quick, 7 episodes or something like that, I think. But it was good. It was really, really good. Enjoyed it a lot. I think from a watching standpoint, that was the big thing I watched. Ahsoka's what I watched. Guardians 3, we already talked about that when we did my rewatch of that. Oh, Clerks 3. Watch that. Clerks 3 was really good.
Yeah.
Liked it. Not my favorite. Some of the acting was actually kind of cringe a little bit, to be honest with you. I was like, this is just, I don't know, something just didn't feel right. Elias, he was funny as far as going through his satanic period. That was really funny. Very touching. If you're a Smith fan, you know the story. He's just basically putting his real life out there for everyone to see. Just, it was really good. Very touching. He does that. He's very good at hitting on those moments that make you feel like you're chopping onions. So
I had the Dante stuff spoiled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Somebody, I'm on a Kevin Smith Facebook page, and someone put, there was an article of like 10 most unexpected death scenes. And I was curious about it, so I click on it, and right off the bat, Dante Hicks, Clerks 3. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. But it was touching. It was very touching.
The way they did it was really well.
I still think the speech in the jailhouse is more powerful. It's probably one of the most powerful scenes out of all three of those movies. Man, that one still blows me away. Yeah. But this one was really good. Very good.
The best Kevin Smith little monologue is Ben Affleck's from Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, where he talks about being a parent.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I tear up every time I hear that.
Yeah. But it was worthy. It's not like it didn't need to be done. I liked it, and again, it's probably found its home on DVD a lot better, or streaming and DVD, than versus or when he toured with it.
Yeah,
of course, we get to see when he tours. But as far as watching, that was the only other thing. I really need to get around to Champions. I just haven't yet.
Yeah.
If you want a really good horror movie for Halloween coming up pretty soon, get in the mood for it. Sinister is on Prime. I don't know if it's Ethan Hawke. Trying to see if it's okay for your daughter to watch. I think so. No sex stuff in it.
Okay.
At all. Just cursing and pretty dark. And blood and a lot of gore. Not over the top gore, but just creepy and a couple jump scares. But I love it. I've watched it a couple times. I like it a lot. As far as reading, let's see. I'll do this. Faithless by Azzarello.
Okay.
Too weird for me.
Okay.
That's all I'll do. Not Drunk Enough. This is the one I was really looking forward to, where it says this is either the funniest scary comic or the scariest funny comic I've ever read.
Yeah.
I got about 20 pages in. I stopped reading. It was awful.
No.
Not good at all. Didn't like it whatsoever. The art, I didn't even like the artwork at all.
Yeah.
Something about the artwork didn't sit right with me. And I love everything zombie apocalypse kind of related, and this is just, I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Just not my thing. The Sheriff of Babylon.
Yeah.
Liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It was very Jack Ryan, like you said.
Yeah.
And it leaves off, and I really wanted to see, I don't know how many trades this is. I know it had to have continued. I'm curious how long is it two trades?
It's two trades.
I don't know.
It's
only two trades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to see how it ends.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many trades or volumes Berserker is.
I think there's quite a few. Yeah.
It's quite a few?
Yeah.
Really good.
Okay.
Really good.
All right. I'll pull the trigger.
For you, I think this would be a shelf book.
Okay.
I think it would be a shelf book. The fact that he came up with the ideas and everything, just good. And it leaves off on a cliffhanger after volume one, where you're just like, I gotta see what's going on here. But the character the main character, they made him look like Keanu, right? Because he made himself the star of the book, it was a movie or something like that. Even if you read it in Keanu's voice, his word, like his dialogue or whatever, you're like, yep, that's a Keanu book right there. It's like, it's just good, man. It's good. I liked it quite a lot. Next thing up on my docket is 6 Days, that World War II book.
Yeah,
we'll have that queued up next. But that's it. That's all I got for you. I was disappointed by those first two quite a bit. They kind of sucked pretty bad. But
yeah.
I did get through Faithless. I just wanted to see what the hell is going on. It wasn't even Morrison weird. It was just, I don't even know how to describe it. Just not good.
Yeah.
It wasn't really good at all. So, but now I'm really interested in that Marvel's book. I kind of really want to read that. But then again, I also just want to keep reading. I got all these other comics to read, but now I just kind of really want to jump into the second of the Heir to the Empire book, whatever book that is. I kind of really want to read that.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on the name because I think the third one is The Last Command.
Okay. But I feel like it's important if they're going to use that as a outline to any of the stuff that might be coming up. I think as far as for the Thrawn character,
yeah,
it'd be cool to see it. So, or be more acquainted with it, I'll say.
Yes.
So, but otherwise, that's all I got for this week.
All right.
Good catching up, man. Until next time. I'll see you.
See you.
All right.
Thanks for listening. You can find us on our website, Nyrdcast.com. It's NYRDCAST. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube by searching @Nyrdcast.
The intro music is The Other Side by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, a Mad Dog remix made by Madeline Tierney. This week's song is Scratch My Name by Embers.
Scratch my name into your car, just so I know that you'll be thinking of me. Another day on the road, I may never come home. Get a grip, take a sip, then I let this shit go. I think I'm going crazy, that's where you left me, baby. On the street, incomplete, like I never missed a beat. I know I'm not worth saving. Guess I'll catch another flight, better than another fight. I hope this shit goes down tonight. She said I'm free. Fuck that, cause I know you made me. Scratch my name into your car, just so I know that you'll be thinking of me. When you're alone and I'm fucked up, you hate it, continuing to show up wasted. I guess that's just what I do. I'm so fucked up for you. I'm so fucked up for you. So you go tell all your friends that this is the end. In the car we keep on singing. This all was only wishful thinking. I get so high but I can't stop singing.